Hello everyone, this is another grounded speedrun tutorial. I've made two of these before, but a lot of new strats have been discovered since the last one, so we gotta update everything. This is gonna take a while, but it's gonna be worth it. I just got a time that I'm super happy with, a 2:50:39, and I think this is just a good time to make another one. Because what I want to happen is more people to run this game, whether it's this category or other categories. I just want more people to run it and submit their times on speedrun.com, because this can be a very fulfilling speedrun. Even though it may not look like it, this is a pretty good speed game. There's a lot going on. But let's start with the basics here. Grounded, as you can see, is the hardest of the 5 difficulties. This is actually a DLC difficulty. If you want to play on Grounded on PS3, you have to buy this. On PS4, everything's included free. Also, let's go over some other stuff too about Grounded. File 1 is my completed Grounded file. I use this to practice certain sections. Let's go to Financial District first. I want to show off some basic things about Grounded. So Grounded is like the closest you can get to like a one-shot kill, like dying in one hit. It's not quite that, but it's pretty close. Some things that vary between difficulties is the crafting ingredients. Like on easy mode, there could be a table full of crafting ingredients. But on Grounded, there would be maybe a quarter of one of those things instead of like a full thing of a bunch of stuff. But one thing that's different that I'm going to show off here is damage given and damage like taken. Like the damage you receive versus the damage you give to other enemies. Grounded made it so your guns do a little bit more damage compared to easy through Survivor. And if the damn section would load, I could show you. Yeah, the loading screens in this game are annoying, and you're going to have to forgive me for some downtime during this tutorial because Naughty Dog won't let you disable autosave. So if you load in a file, you have to save it under another file, otherwise it'll get overwritten, and you can't go back and practice it.
Yeah, I should have known. If you're going to
Okay. Let's do Survivor first. So we're on Survivor. The damage given on easy through Survivor is the same. But watch this. The rifle and the revolver are pretty much the same. But watch. One hit doesn't kill him. And this guy too. 1, 2 hits to kill him. As well, yeah, it's 2 bullets with the rifle and 2 bullets with the revolver. I don't have any pistol ammo, but it's 3 with the pistol. Now, if we go on Grounded, well, let me get caught first and show you how damage is given. Yep. Just take a bunch of damage. He's pretty... He can take a couple hits. He can take a couple. Now this is Grounded. He dies very quickly. See that? Pretty much 1 or 2 hit kill with pretty much anything. Now when it comes to the damage given, look. 1 hit, 1 hit. It's basically a 1-hit kill with the revolver. That's the biggest advantage you get with Grounded mode. Your guns do a little bit more damage. Instead of 2 with the rifle or revolver, it's 1. And with the pistol, instead of 3, it's 2. Pretty helpful. That's kind of what makes this category a little bit faster than if you were to do a run on Survivor mode. But of course, if you've done Survivor and you've done Grounded, you know Grounded's just harder. Because ammo drops are a lot more scarce. There's not as much of them. Alright, now let me show you another example of... crafting ingredients in certain areas. I know I mentioned it, but it's better to see it with your own eyes. And I'll be having these two controller layouts going. You can see what my hands are doing, and if you miss an input, you can see it on the right. Gives you a reason to go back and watch it a couple times. Because this is literally my first stream since I got the time that I've been working so hard to get. So I think now is just a good time to tell all my secrets. I'll try and not hold anything back. I'll be showing backup strats, normal strats, explaining how much ammo I need for each gun, like what's a good amount of ammo to have after a certain section, and all things like that. Yeah, we get off to a little of a slow start. One thing I want to show off is a way to fire quicker.
All right, before we go any further,
Like this is how you normally fire the shotgun. It's kind of slow. That's a little slow. What you can do is like reload cancel by holding aim and then right left on the D-pad, so you can fire it like this. That's probably one of the more useful tricks in the run. It helps you in the blow. It just helps you in a lot of sections. You can even do it with the rifle. It's very useful with the rifle.
All right, before we go any further, I got something.
Because you can't fire it until a bullet goes back in the clip, and you can't use the heads-up display in the bottom right because it's disabled on grounded. So it goes like this. Normally it's like this. But watch the bottom right. There. There's a bullet in the clip. So a way to fire faster would be this. See that? You need to wait for the sound effect. So even without looking, even without being able to see it, I know you can do it like this. Wait for the sound effect. There. And you can fire it like 2 seconds faster. Alright. So this is just little basic 101 stuff. Let's actually show you the difference in like supplies.
All right, before we go any further.
So in grounded mode, all that's here.
What you got?
Literally the only thing that's here.
Toy box.
See, there's nothing. Nothing. Is a quarter of a rag.
This
That's it.
is a nail bomb.
If we were to switch it to easy mode,
You gotta be really careful. This thing blows. It shreds.
let's see.
anybody standing
Half an alcohol.
Yeah, I've seen.
3/4 explosives. Another 3/4 explosives. Quarter alcohol. Half a rag. Half a binding. Quarter blades. Half blades. Half a rag. Shotgun ammo. Full thing of binding. Quarter scissors. Quarter rag. There's a lot of fucking stuff on easy mode. One thing that... So, yeah. Crafting ingredients just spread out throughout the game in drawers on tables. It's next to nothing on grounded mode. One thing that remains the same, no matter what the difficulty is parts,
toy box.
supplements, and the toolboxes. There's only 5 of them in the game. We only pick up like 1 or 2 toolboxes.
Use a nail bomb.
But parts, as you'll see here, parts and supplements remain the same. Oh look, there's 3 arrows there. They're not there on grounded.
Yeah, I've seen your handiwork.
Parts and pills remain the same no matter what the difficulty is. But yeah, that's about it. So, your guns do a little bit more damage. Joel dies in a couple hits. Crafting ingredients are a lot more scarce on grounded, and some reload canceling to fire your gun faster. I'm going to load up my grounded file. You don't have to. We're going to go new game, grounded. This is glitchless. There really is no grounded any percent, because if you're doing an any percent run, it's typically done on the easiest difficulty. So grounded any percent is not a thing. So yeah. And I'm going to be making a bunch of save files here. Put this one under 3. Now once you start, you can't disable autosave. Again, that's kind of annoying. But you'll see me do it a bunch. I think you'll get the hang of it if you want to practice. But yeah. During this long intro, I'll explain a little bit more with Grounded. Also, just put up with the downtime. I know the first 37 minutes of this game, a little slow. Like from intro through downtown. Little slow. But don't worry, it picks up. There's so many things to talk about. The best thing about this tutorial is there's a lot of things that I can't mention, like as I'm doing a run. But it's there. It's there. And you'll be able to see, hopefully see all of it after I'm done explaining it. So the timer would normally start right now. And the only thing you do here, Sarah, is cut your corners. Try not to bonk into anything. And triangle prompt your way through the double doors downstairs. Now, one thing that can happen, which saves like 3 or 4 tenths of a second, is when you hit the stairs, Sarah will sometimes do a glide down the first 3 or 4 steps.
Uncle Tommy? Hello?
Saves a few tenths of a second. If you don't get it, yeah, that's okay.
What was that all about?
Try not to overthink this part. But I gotta show it.
Dad? Daddy?
Let's see if we get it. I got it. Huh, how about that?
What was
She
that?
did a little glide down the stairs. So if I had the timer on, I would see that she gets through these double doors right here, like 2 or 3 tenths of a second faster.
There's his phone.
Now don't hit L3. You know me, I'm always hitting buttons, L3, R3, just something I do. Don't do it
Here
there.
you are.
Sarah, are you okay?
You can do whatever you want here.
Does anyone come in here?
Look, we can see Jimmy.
No, who would
Or you can
come in here?
move the control
Don't
stick
go near
around
the
and it look like
doors,
she's
just-
breakdancing,
Just stand back there.
moonwalking.
Dad, you're kind of freaking me out. What's going on?
It's the Coopers. Something ain't right with them. I think they're sick.
What kind of sick?
Something to do during downtime.
Jimmy!
Dad?
Honey, come here. Come here.
So yes, Grounded.
Jimmy!
Hardest of the 5 difficulties.
Jimmy!
Trying to think if there's anything about Grounded that you don't already know. Checkpoints. Checkpoints are a lot more strict. Let's say financial district fight, for example.
Sarah,
I saw him this morning.
there is something bad going on. And we've got to get...
Let's say you're on
You
easy
understand
mode
me?
and you're down to 1 enemy left, 1 enemy, and you die. The checkpoint would place you right at the like where the last enemy
You have any
is.
idea what's going on out there?
On grounded mode, you just have to do the whole thing over. Or a better example would be the hospital, the last spot in the game.
People in the city lost their minds.
Just please go.
Hospital. You could get to the last door on the 2nd floor,
What happened?
Later.
and
Hey, Sarah.
on easy mode and die. It'll place you near the door. On grounded, it sends you all the way back to the start of the entire hospital. Pretty brutal. So, like, low-key, one of the most brutal things about grounded is actually its
We're doing great.
new checkpoint system.
Newsmen wouldn't shut up.
They say where to go?
It does not hold your hand.
Army's put up roadblocks on the highway.
Oh, and the one-hit kill with the revolver and the rifle. With the revolver, it only applies to humans. If you're dealing with infected,
They say how many are dead?
runners specifically,
Only a lot.
it's still 2 hits.
Mangled inside
With the rifle, however, the grounded applies there. 1 hit with the rifle will kill a runner, whereas other difficulties, it's still 2.
Jesus Christ, how did this happen?
They got no
So yeah, the
clue.
grounded crap with the rifle applies to runners. It does not apply with the revolver.
South. Got nothing going on about the East Coast, the West Coast.
I don't think it affects stuff with the El Diablo or shotgun,
Lewis's farm.
or the flamethrower, God forbid. We don't use the flamethrower in this run.
Sure he did.
But yeah, I know there's a lot of downtime.
No.
And pretty much the intro, you guys have seen it
How do you know?
way too many times. Tommy's movement
We're good.
Didn't Jimmy work in the city?
is consistent.
He did. We're fine. Trust me.
The NPCs, the civilians running through the town, is not consistent. It's different every
I
time.
think you're doing. Keep
And the reason I want Tommy to push me is because he runs faster when you're ahead of him. It's like the game's trying to keep up. If he gets ahead of you, he will slow down significantly. That's where you can lose time.
Should have.
There's even a spot when you round the first corner. If a runner jumps out through a glass window at a civilian, if that happens in front of you, Tommy will stop and look behind it. That wastes exactly 2 seconds. There's nothing you can do about it. It can just happen. That's why you sometimes hear me say that was a fast Tommy, that was a slow Tommy. If that runner jumps out of the window behind you, Tommy won't slow down. But you need to memorize the Tommy's running route when you're ahead of him, and then try to avoid civilians. And that's pretty much the intro.
Did you see that? Yes, I saw it. God damn.
What we'll also be doing is restarting encounter in certain sections. And restart encounters do different things based on the area.
Running from?
Most of the time, it skips
Oh no.
some camera movement. It sort of looks like an in-game cutscene where the camera pans around to Joel,
There, hold on!
and the section starts. Maybe there's a little background music. Restart encounters can skip that. They can also place companions closer to you if they're like lagging behind. And in certain sections of the game, restart encounter can actually get your stuff, can get some of your supplies back.
Hey.
That's only available in 3 spots though, and I will go over that in much more detail when we get to them.
Get back, man.
Yeah, all you gotta do here is, you don't even have to mash it. I just do. So I hit it as early as possible. This stream brought to you by Turtle Beach. Not really, but it's funny.
Dad?
I'm here, baby. I'm here. Come, give me
Alright, I'm not going to restart anything if it doesn't go well. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen a perfect intro of
My leg
mine.
hurts.
How, baby?
You just gotta memorize where Tommy runs when you're ahead of him. That's really the one thing to take away from here. From this point forward, all the NPCs are random. I don't know what they're gonna do. They're gonna screw me over because they keep falling down in front of me. I need this one to move up a little bit. Alright, right about here. Just let Tommy push you until right there. And just keep moving. Hug the right side. Now when I round this corner, is there going to be a person there or not? There is, and he runs ahead of me. So this runner right here is going to give me a slow Tommy. He's going to turn around and get distracted by it. That wastes me 2 seconds. If that didn't happen, I would run right here. He would push me behind. And this is where it can get really annoying. And just look at where he runs. He kind of hugs the sidewalk right there, right around here. And yeah, he runs a lot slower when he gets ahead of you. That's where the time loss comes from. Like, I wouldn't continue that if this were a normal run. And just kind of inch your way forward. Mash square as fast as you can. Alright, now this part right here, there is something I gotta explain here. If I just run forward, Tommy will sometimes despawn behind you, or he'll lag behind you a lot. So what you do is when you move, you turn the camera to keep him in the frame, and then he'll move quickly. So watch right here. Turn the camera this way,
God damn it.
keep him in the camera, and he'll move faster.
They're getting through the fence.
And then just kind of wiggle the control stick a little bit.
Come on.
Try to keep him ahead of you. And you need to let him get past you around there. Otherwise, I've seen it, he actually despawns behind you. So right at the stairs of this bar here, have him get ahead of you.
Daddy, we can't leave.
Practice it a little, you'll get it.
He's gonna be fine.
We're almost there.
But yes, that camera turn is actually pretty important there. Alright, the next thing you need to just memorize on your own is when the cutscene starts so you can skip it. For me, right here, it's a visual cue. This little curb, right there. Like there's some gravel and then it almost looks like it transitions to a sidewalk. Right there. Now for this one specifically, when I skip the cutscene, I'm going to wait until the sound effect of the menuing goes away and then restart encounter. You can restart encounter at different times after skipping certain cutscenes. Sometimes you can do it right away. Other times you can do it. You have to wait a little bit. This one you have to wait a little bit. So listen to the sound effects here. There. Now restart and counter as quickly as you can. You can tell if it doesn't work because then you would get the camera panning down and watching them leave the building. That restart and counter saves around 17 seconds. If you played the game casually before, you know what it's skipping. Saves around 17 seconds, that one. Now right here, all you have to do is clip at her heels and try not to bump into her. It's literally the only thing you can do here. Whew. Almost 20 minutes and we haven't done anything yet.
Attention. Citizens are required to carry a certified ID at all times. Compliance with all city personnel is mandatory.
Look at that. Ration line has
Alright, you don't have to worry. Alright, personally for me, I aim with L1 and I shoot and reload with R1. I use L2 to sprint and R2 for listen mode and shoulder swap. If you want to switch that, I think, yeah, you can. Personally, I'm way more comfortable with this. And my sensitivity is around 5, right in the middle. And again, right here, you don't have to worry about... You haven't been introduced to sprinting yet, so you don't have to hold it down.
More people are sneaking.
I gotta sell new papers. I shouldn't raise any static.
You can't even crouch here.
Play it cool.
All right. Drive on through.
And you guys have seen me hit R3 for the flashlight over and over. I want to state right now, there is no speedrun reason behind that. My hands just always need to keep moving.
Day off. Visiting a friend.
All right, move on through.
Thanks.
This is the one spot where you can't move until you do a quick turn. So I usually just hold back and mash X and then sprint. Now I like to cut to the right of the cone right there
Coast is clear.
because it'll get you to the door faster. And then look at Tess.
Attention. Checkpoint 5 is now closed.
It's just kind of funny.
So much for
All right, right here, you can't move or do anything
Right?
until you use the medkit here, which is around the time the sound effects disappear right now. So it's X up R1. And you don't want to time it early because then you waste like a second. So basically, super quick. X up R1. Now what we're going to do here is try and maneuver our way down the hallway so we can get past this guy on the left. I named this split hallway fuckface.
Or we could just let Robert go.
Really because it's like the only spot in the split that loses a bunch of time.
I was there.
We're going to try and get ahead of this guy.
Yeah, it's clear. I just used.
What we need to do is round the corner to the right
Gonna pay Robert.
and then slowly inch your way to the left. Don't do it all at once.
She's been asking around.
Think of it as like a diagonal.
What are the fireflies?
And then
Robert?
You think she'd tell me?
Well, what did you tell her?
try and squeeze past him. There we go. Now what you can do
Hey, you stay
is
out
when
of
Tess is
trouble.
done talking,
There's
get
gonna
in
be
front of him.
outdoors soon.
And you can get that. I haven't gotten one of those in forever. Most of the time, you just want to get in front of him a little bit. But if you get in front of him, and then when the dialogue goes to Tess, the front half of his body gets some collision. And then that can happen. And if you get a big enough launch, you can actually jog this part. It's really funny. Alright, now, I'm going to show you a certain restart and counter, but I have to wait until this turns from less than 1 minute ago to 1 minute ago. That is allowed, by the way. In the glitchless category, that is allowed. I have other videos explaining like why certain things are allowed. I'm just going to go over the strats in this video. Alright, so notice the restart and counter went to 1 minute ago. This is how we found all the restart and counters in the game. So watch, we're going forward. It's about halfway between this line right here. So watch, we're going forward a little bit. It's nice and slow. Nice and slow. And then right about there. See that? It changed. It changed. So if we hit the restart and counter, it puts us right here. More importantly, if we kept moving, Tess would have been really far behind. It places Tess here. And she's the only one that can move this wall unit thing.
That's what I like to hear.
So that restart encounter helped put Tess closer to us, saves over a dozen seconds, I think.
Y'all take it easy out there.
Getting past that guy in the hallway is tougher than it looks, though. Right around at the fire extinguisher, you want to hold, like, up left. Well, you can see what my controller was doing, and what my hands are doing.
Let's grab our gear.
Alright, another thing about grounded I'm pretty sure I mentioned is your heads-up display is disabled.
The shots count.
So you cannot see how many bullets you have left in the clip. You can see how many bullets you have for it, but you don't know if you have, like, 2 in the clip and then 2 you have to reload or stuff like that.
All right, Texas. Boost me up.
Also, I know a lot of you have seen me throw a punch in random places. Like, why does he do that? Well, look, Joel has a gun in his hand. If I throw a punch, it magically teleports to his back pocket.
Want to boost me up?
Shut up, Tess. See? And this is because if I hit the triangle prompt with a gun in my hand, he spends a second putting it away.
You ready?
If he has no gun in his hand, that would have happened a second faster. So you'll sometimes see me approach a triangle prompt and then throw a punch.
Come on.
Before I hit the triangle prompt. Alright, another thing to mention is sometimes the game does not... It makes it so you cannot run, or sprint, or jog. You're forced to walk. And conveniently enough, in this game, crouch walking is faster than walking. And this is the first spot in the game where we get to take advantage of that. When we're able to move Joel, you can't run. You can't jog. You can't do anything. You walk. But you can crouch walk, so we use that to our benefit here. Just see what I do with the controller here, and then I'll go over it.
Be careful.
When am I not?
That a trick question?
Okay. So, what we did there, we were right here. We turn around and we crouch right away. And then we jump over this thing right here. But you don't want to do it in a crouching animation because doing it while standing up is faster. You know, that's much faster than this. So what you do is you're standing around about right here when it starts. Crouch right away. Hit circle, then X. Back to back. So it literally looks like this. You're crouched. Circle X. And then when you move them again, crouch right here. And then you're not able to stand up again until right around here. There's a bunch of invisible lines in the ground that you just need to memorize. And holding down sprint won't help. You'll stand back up. You'll stand back up. So you need to memorize when they are, otherwise you'll stand up too early and then you'll walk. You don't want that. So I know this is a slow process, but this is what got me the 250, people. Crouch, circle X, circle, and then right around here, hold down sprint.
Where's the ladder?
It's got to be around here somewhere.
Tess tries to walk in your way here. Just ignore.
Got it.
All right, and this is something we'll talk about later, but there are speed differences based on where you pick up a ladder or plank. Very annoying. Right there, you want to pick up the left side of it.
Ladies
There
first.
we go. That triangle prompt can be tricky. Really spend the extra second and line it up. Because if you don't, you're going to put the ladder down on the ground. And that's a rip run. You're going to lose over 10 seconds because of that. Now, there's a restart encounter right here, which saves literally 1 second. Start climbing the ladder.
You must be thinking of someone else.
And then when he climbs up to that spot and you see the tutorial, like hold forward and X pop up, restart encounter, and it places you right here. Saves about 1 second. Now right here, when I'm hopping off ledges and stuff, I actually let go of sprint as his feet are about to leave the floor. So watch my L2 button. Right there.
You think Robert's still got our
If I was holding it down when he went off the step, he would have taken 2 or 3 steps forward and lost me around a second.
For his sake, he better.
Now right here,
Get our merchandise
as soon as Tess is done talking,
Unload. Hold up.
when after she says unload, you need to crouch, because then Joel and Tess are going to put on their gas masks for the spores. And you're forced to walk until he's finished putting on the gas mask. So she said, it should be pretty easy to unload. And then crouch. You hit circle. And then you keep crouching. And you can't crouch once he starts trying to put it on. So if you fuck up the timing, you're going to lose a bunch of time because you have to walk. Crouch walking versus walking, basically. And then you can start jogging again once the gas mask is put on.
Spores.
Right there.
Where the hell are all these coming from? The place was
Hopefully
clear.
I'm getting the point across that there's a lot of tiny details here.
Better keep your eyes and ears open.
We should be able to fit through here.
You okay?
That if you aren't
Yeah.
doing what I'm saying,
It's falling apart. Be careful.
you're probably going to be out even just like 10 or 11 seconds already.
Easy. Watch it, watch it. Help me.
Alright, right here, we're just going to ignore this guy, grab the ammo, and then reload it as we're walking here. Now, this gun right here would have had... This guy dying is distracting me. Easy through Survivor, this gun would have 2 bullets. On Grounded, it only has 1. But that's pretty convenient, because there's 3 enemies in the next section. And this...
Leave me like this.
Can you please die a little softer, sir? I'm trying to talk. That bullet gave us 5. And there's 3 enemies in the next section, so after we're done with them, we'll have 2. And coincidentally, there's 2 enemies in the next encounter after that. And in this game, that's one thing I didn't talk about. In this game, enemies, or on Grounded, enemies will only drop ammo when you're at 0 or close to 0. And it varies with each gun. With the pistol, enemies will only drop ammo if you have 3 or less. If you have more, you should all take notes on this, by the way. If you have 4 or more, they will never drop ammo. 3 or less, they will. With the revolver, it's 2 or less. With the shotgun, it's also 2 or less. And with the rifle, it's 0. If you have 1 bullet, they will never drop any rifle ammo. And I think the shorty is 1 or less. I don't usually worry about shorty ammo that much. I'm pretty sure it's 1 or less. The main things to note are shotgun, rifle, revolver, and pistol. Shotgun and revolver is 2 or less if you want an enemy to drop some. Pistols, 3 or less. Pistols 3 or less. Revolver and shotgun is 2 or less. And the rifle, you have to be at 0. Okay, and here we go. First encounter.
You hear that?
I just pretend to shoot at him because you can't fire here. So I'm going to do it once and then go over it. And then go. Beautiful. 3 bullets, 3 headshots. Now, the one convenient thing about this is if you restart encounter, this guy's body is turned more to the left. So if you're having trouble getting the headshot first try, restart encounter and it's much easier to get. Don't move too far forward though, because... yeah, that'll happen. And you can end up getting pushed against the wall. So what you do right away, and you may not notice it, I don't just aim at him. Yeah, scary. I go like this. I shoulder swap right away. When I aim, I shoulder swap. And then, when I get the headshot, I shoulder swap again, and I sprint to the left side of the doorway. This makes it so that runner sprints at me in a straight line, making the headshot easier to get. All I have to do is line the shot up vertically. You don't have to line it up horizontally that well. I'm not aiming at a particular spot. I'm just lining it up vertically. Because their heads, I have to use my hands as like a point of reference, but their heads when they're running towards you move left and right, left and right. So just line it up vertically and then just time the shot. And then this guy, I can't get a headshot consistently, so what I do is I punch him and then I get the third headshot, but you have to do it quickly. So all together. Right before him. Shoulder swap. Get it. Run to the left side of the doorway. Headshot. And then boom. Now sometimes what can happen, and you saw it right there, he punches with the left hand or he punches with the right hand. And that can affect your aim. If he punches with the right hand, you just do a drag shot to the left. If he punches with the left hand, sometimes you have to move the camera back to the right, or sometimes you don't have to move it at all. Sometimes it's a little bit to the left. I'll just do this a couple times. Get your gun out. Shoulder swap. Oh god, that scared me. Okay. Yeah, doing this like a second and third time causes that early alert. It's all about timing. If you restart encounter, I'd suggest aiming a little early. See right there, he punched with the left. I didn't have to move the reticle at all. I think you get it. Practice, 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 practice. Now right here, when I fall off here, Joel will be forced to walk because he's taking off his gas mask. So what I do is I fall off at an angle, and when his feet leave the floor, I hit circle. That will make it so he'll crouch walk as he's taking his gas mask off. So watch. I fall off at an angle, and then I hit circle while he's in the air, and then he'll be crouched when he lands. And when the gas mask is away, then I can jog. Very tiny detail, but this is the kind of shit that made my 250 time possible.
After you.
It's little stuff like that.
Cover the entrance.
I got it.
All right, now right here. One thing I should also mention, sometimes I'm always clicking the flashlight off and on. Sometimes I have it on intentionally, other times I have it off on purpose. There's one thing you can see. If the flashlight is off and I turn him, Joel stands facing the same way. See that? He's like, huh, this wood pillar is so interesting. Then he just won't change. If you have the flashlight on, he will face whatever direction the flashlight is facing. I'm just moving the right stick, as you can see. Flashlight off, he faces the same way. Flashlight on, he will face wherever the flashlight is shining. And it even affects the camera a little bit. Like, look. See, camera's perfectly still. If I put the flashlight on, it moves a little bit more to his right. It's a little more over the shoulder, if you will. You click it back off, and it sort of centers the camera a little bit. So if I'm in like a really tense encounter where I need to move the camera quickly, I always have the flashlight off. I always have it off. I'm trying to think of spots where I have the flashlight on purpose. Not many. Not many. Strictly for that reason of just like moving the camera. It's a little bit faster when you have the flashlight off. Now for this spot right here. We only use this trick in a few spots. You kind of saw it in the hallway. You kind of saw it in the hallway where I got that big launch down the hallway. If you're crouched... Here, look. See? I'm holding down sprint and moving, but I'm not going anywhere. Like, if you're crouched and then you hold down sprint, you'll stand back up. You can either hit circle to stand up again, or you can hold down sprint to stand up and start jogging again. But if you do that in a confined space like this, where I'm holding sprint and he's still crouched, he'll get a little launch. So watch. Bloop. It just happens by itself. All you need to do is hold down sprint when you're in an enclosed space like this, and then when you exit it, you'll get a little launch. Sometimes you don't. For me, I know this works if I hang to the left side here, so it looks like this. Bloop. Also, I know this is a lot, even though there's nothing happen. I can't stress enough, you need to pick this thing up in the center. Because if you don't, and you pick it up down here, watch how much slower he picks it up. He's farther away, he spends an extra 2 or 3 seconds getting it in his hands. Pick it up in the middle. He picks it up a lot faster.
Here, pass it to me.
You can even tell by Tess's dialogue.
It's a bit heavy.
I think I can handle it.
All right.
See, you got a little launch right there. Alright, I'm pretty sure you can actually... Well, I've had it happen to me. You can fall off of this and die. Don't do that. So all you got to do right here is hang by Tess, fall off at a left angle, let her get ahead of you, mash X and forward, just mash it. Now try and stay as close to her as you possibly can. Try not to bonk on that. And the closer you are to her, the faster she'll open the door.
Shut it.
Alright, now right here, as soon as you gain control of Joel, restart encounter. So just hold right. And when you see him start to move, restart encounter. It places you like half a second further. But I've gotten the unfortunate occurrence of having a couple blue screens happen right there. That restart encounter makes it so the game doesn't crash.
Hey, little man.
And it's also just a little bit faster.
Make sure the coast is
So
clear.
2 for 1. I've probably had a blue screen there like 3 or 4 times. It doesn't happen anymore. Remember the gun in your back pocket thing. Also,
You know he's expecting.
inclines in this game kind of break the game a little bit.
That'll make it more
As you can see, teabagging there, not so fast. Do it on stairs. Much faster.
Good to go. Come on.
All right, now right here, just kind of wait until Tess's left arm goes away, and then jog past her.
Not right now, Terrence.
No, it's good. Look
Not now.
Even if you hold sprint here, you can't crouch, you can't do anything. You can't take a gun out. You're literally at the mercy of the game here. Just walk to where you need to go.
Where do you think you're going?
Malik, sit back down.
Oh, sorry, Tess. Didn't realize you two were together. Go ahead.
Now for slums. Again, slums is probably one of the sections I hate the most.
Who's that?
One of the spots. There are sections that are harder than this, but this is a tough spot because it's right at the start of the game. You got to get a lot of headshots.
There.
The only thing I can say for this part right here
I'm
is,
looking for Robert.
you know, take the extra time to get the section done properly.
He went back to the wharf.
You still have to do, like, the fast strats, but make sure they're done properly. And when it comes to ammo, remember, I have 2 pistol bullets after I got those 3 headshots, and the enemies here will drop ammo now, because I'm so close to 0.
Here we go.
Let us through.
You guys need to turn around and head back.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to make a save file for this. I'm going to overwrite file 8. Yeah, ignore this part right here. This is just for me.
If you know what's good for you.
Our beef isn't with you. We just want
And, yeah.
Robert.
Yeah.
You don't want to do this.
Turn the fuck around and leave now.
So I'm
not
going to do
going
this once
anywhere
and then
without
show it back.
Bash your
But the gist of this section is, the 2 enemies that take cover behind the crates don't actually react to you, even if you run straight at them.
You ready?
So you're gonna waste 2 bullets here. One's gonna be a headshot, the other's gonna be a body
Get
shot.
the angle on them.
So watch. Run up to him. Headshot. And then punch him out. Hold down triangle to pick up more than one thing of ammo.
Nicely done, Texas.
And then go. Alright, we're gonna load up file 3. The reason I made a different file for that is actually it's part of the run. If for whatever reason you fail this section and have to do it over, just redo the run. Because where it places you in a restart encounter, the enemies react to you right away, and the ammo they drop won't be the same. And going back to what happened earlier, if there's a bunch of stuff to pick up, like more than one thing of ammo or a crafting ingredient and a bullet, if you hold down triangle, you pick it all up at once. So when I did my performance there, an enemy dropped 3, which always happens, and then the other enemy dropped 1, which sometimes happens. But what I did was I held down triangle so he picked everything up like within a 1-foot radius.
Go.
Now, if you like file load this section or restart encounter or do a bunch of stuff, it actually affects the ammo that's dropped here, which is the reason we start at the intro for every game. It would be nice to start the run at like the part where we run past the civilians during the start of the apocalypse, but it's confirmed ammo drops are different when you load in a file and select a chapter versus starting new game from the beginning.
Beef isn't with you. We just won't.
And it might be shown off here.
We don't want to do this.
Turn the fuck around and leave now.
And I'll show you. You
I'm
can
not going
take your time
anywhere
with this.
without Robert.
Bitch, I will bash your
Because
skull
they don't
unless
really
you turn
react to
around
you
and
for a
get your
while.
dumbass outta here.
Fuck this.
Obviously, the faster the better.
Cover! Oh, fuck!
You ready?
Yeah.
Now, because I loaded this
Cover you.
file up, it's going to
Get
be a
the
little
angle on
different. But they should act the same. See, you can... See, you can take your time. But see right there? See that?
Nicely done.
The ammo drops are different because I loaded in another file. It's the same thing as if you go from a chapter select. The ammo drop is different. The drop of 3, the first time I did it, is 100% consistent. It will always happen. Also, if you restart encounter, watch. I'm going to do... Oh, god damn it. I guess not. Basically, if you restart encounter, the section is very different. I'm going to do it again just to show it. You have time to get the first headshot.
Here we go.
What I would recommend is run up to him,
Let us through.
pre-align the camera, and then aim and move the left stick. Don't move all... Don't move Joel and the camera.
Turn the fuck around.
Right
Leave
before you
now.
aim, pre-align the
Going
camera,
anywhere without
and then
Robert.
just move Joel's body.
Bash
That's
your
what I do.
skull unless you turn around and get your
Like sometimes
dumbass
I
outta
stand still and just move the camera.
This.
Do it the other way. Pre-align the camera and then just aim.
You ready?
Yeah.
I'll cover you. Get the angle on them.
So right here. If you miss, just punch him out. But if you fuck it up and want to restart encounter, it doesn't work. So if you have to, I guess... Well, I'm out of ammo now because the game ate my stuff. See, it's kind of a mess. If I mess up this strat for any reason, just restart the run. I know it's 20 minutes down the crapper, but just restart the run. It's a mess. You don't get the appropriate ammo drops, and you can't really do it over again. So here we go. We have our normal file back.
Give me your hand. There you go.
Now this next spot, there's... how many? Normally I have 3 bullets. As a matter of fact, here. Look, normally I have 3. You can get by with 3. Having 4 is very nice, but I just want to show you can get by with 3. Tess, you want to go first? So there's going to be an enemy there. Well, there's an enemy there, but Tess kills him. There's an enemy there, an enemy there, and an enemy there. Now that's where the exit to the section is. I think it's right over there. Yeah. That's where the exit to the section is. And there's a locked door over there. You can't see it, but there's a locked door over there. The enemy you kill last is the one who drops the key. It's not like, oh, this time this guy has it, another time this guy has it. No. It's whoever you kill last is the one who drops the key. Therefore, the guy we kill last, we want him to be as close to the locked door as possible. So we're gonna fire our gun at certain spots on the ground to manipulate their movements. This is one spot where it isn't 100% consistent, but when it works perfectly, it is a damn good strat. So I'm gonna make another save file here so we can practice it later. This is another spot where a restart encounter doesn't accurately show. Or it doesn't work the same when you restart encounter versus loading in the file.
2 of our guys died trying to take Tess
So if you
out.
have to restart encounter here,
Guarantee that she and
I can
Joel
show
are
you a
on their way
backup
here
strat.
right now to get Robert.
Jesus. We shouldn't have taken this job.
Not our call.
Here we go. I'm going to show it
Spread
once,
out, make
hopefully
sure
it
no one's
works, and
creeping
then
around in here.
I'll go over it. Alright, that was good. The only thing I would have liked more is if this guy was crouching right here. He was, but then he stood up and ran this way. If he's crouching right here, what you want to do is when you're sprinting here... Thank you for standing in my way, Tess. If you're sprinting here, mash square, and you'll push him against the wall and punch him 3 times against the wall to kill him. Saves a bullet. If you have to use a bullet to kill him, though, do a sprint punch and then fire a gun at him. It's an insta-kill. And then he drops the gun. But this guy is going to be closest to the door. It's super fast, super convenient. Now, if you restart encounter... You see, the enemies are in a bit of a different spot. This guy takes cover. And then this guy... I don't know where he is. He's right here. So you can do a restart encounter. My advice would be to get this first shot in the doorway. So he rushes you. But he hops out. If you have to restart encounter, it's a mess. Which is why, if you do, like, practice this section, have a file ready to, like, go back and practice it. So you want to get the first headshot crouching in a certain spot.
More of Robert's guys.
How do you know they're coming?
2 of our guys
And then,
died trying to
with the
take Tess
flashlight
out.
off while you're still
Guarantee
crouching,
that she and Joel
shoot
are
the
on their way
guy
here right
in
now
the
to get
doorway.
Robert.
Jesus. We shouldn't have taken this job.
So we're going to crouch right
our
past
call.
this AC vent,
Spread out,
whatever
make
this
sure No
is,
one's creeping around in here.
and then turn the camera and shoot the guy in the doorway. Right around here, get the headshot. See, now I still want to shoot him. And that guy's out there. Bit of a mess. That would be the backup for that. Sometimes this section just doesn't cooperate.
Let's search the area.
You gotta improvise. You need at least 1 bullet heading into the next section. But one thing that doesn't change is getting the first headshot while you're crouched, standing in a very specific spot on the ground, and then shoot the guy in the doorway. Sometimes he crouches behind the desk, sometimes he stands still. What you want is for him to rush towards you through the door. Through the doorway.
How do you know they're coming?
Sometimes that just
2 of our
doesn't
guys
happen,
died
so
trying
you
to
have
take
to
Tess out.
improvise.
Guarantee that she
I'll
and
do this
Joel
one
are
more
on their way
time,
here right now to get
and then move
Robert.
on to the next section.
Jesus. We shouldn't have taken this job.
And you can start sprinting
Not our
once you
call.
see Tess is about to shiv that
Spread out,
guy.
make sure no one's creeping around.
That's why I'm looking, and then I turn the camera right around there. Crouch right there. Headshot. There we go. There you go. Sprinting punch. He should be right there. There we go. And then get the ammo and the key in one go. Perfect. Perfect. Now for the next spot. I'm going to do it once and then go back and show you. Get the bottle, throw it at him, sprint punch and kick him, pick up any ammo he drops, punch him, you have time to line this up, and then go for the kick, pick up any ammo he drops, round the corner and crouch, headshot, and headshot, jump down. Now, a way to practice this over and over consistently, because when you restart and counter this, they're pushed back a little further. So if you are going to restart and counter this, wait until he starts saying we consolidated and then do it, and the section will behave the same. Alright, I just want to focus on these guys right now. So what you do is you equip your gun. I can't stress that enough. You have to equip your gun, because watch this. If you have the gun in your hand and you hit down before you pick it up, you need to listen for the sound effect of the bottle being picked up. If you hit down before you pick it up, watch this. See, he's got the gun in his hand, and if I hit down,
Fuck if I know. We'll check in with the others and come up with something.
look at that. See? He won't switch out to the bottle because I hit down on the D-pad before I grab the bottle. You need to wait until you hear the bottle being picked up and then hit down. You can keep hitting down, nothing happens. You need to either wait for the menu to disappear, then hit down, or just go right down. You got the gun in your hand, just go like that. So what I do is I wait until I hear the sound effect. There. Do that.
Good.
That saves you in the downtown fight as well. So, sprint, pick up the bottle, equip it, throw it, and kill him. You should just start with that. So have the gun in your hand. Sprint, pick it up, throw it at him. Sprinting punch. And from that point forward, sometimes he drops ammo, sometimes he doesn't. I actually prefer him dropping ammo because you can't punch this guy right away. Otherwise, you'll get shot. See if I can show it. Alright, it worked there, but sometimes that guy can shoot you. But what happens here is, once you're done with this, if he drops ammo, pick it up. If not, just go for the punch. The game recognizes as this guy is in front of me. So this guy I'm aiming at won't shoot me because he thinks his buddy is right in front of me. Almost like I'm in a chokehold. So watch. See? He thinks he's in front of me. And then he is. You need to do it quick enough so he doesn't stand back up. But that guy will not shoot you. So once again, if he doesn't drop ammo, just go for the punch. You have time here. Then line up the headshot. And then pick up any ammo they drop. If you want to go for the ammo in the back, you can. I prefer not to because of time. You just need two bullets for the top part there. So throw, sprint punch, kick. Does he drop ammo? No. Okay, so go for the punch right away. Alright, now I want you guys to watch the guy in the back. Let's see what he's doing. When the bottle hits, what is he doing? He's running towards me. When the bottle hits, that guy does a bunch of different stuff. Totally random. If he runs towards you, don't punch the guy. If he runs backwards, punch him. So he ran towards me, so what I'm going to do here is just aim at him. Well, that would have worked. I'm taking a little slow. Well, actually, I'll show you. Watch this. The guy in the back has a bottle phobia. Bottle hits. I'm scared. I'm going to run away. Oh my god, I'm so scared. He's gone. He's just gone. Let's see what he does this time. Oh my god, bottles! I wanna run. I wanna run away. Oh my god, I'm so scared. He must have died from a bottle in a previous life.
Consolidated South Warehouse. Supplies are locked up.
I'm so scared. I'm gonna run. I need therapy. I'm waiting for one where he just runs up the stairs.
The crates in the South Warehouse.
There he goes. I'm gonna run up the stairs. There we go. I'm so scared. Oh my god. See, he does different things based on like when the bottle hits the guy. So, therefore, you have to do different things based on what he does. If he runs towards you, get the headshot first, then punch the guy. If he runs backwards, punch the guy, get the headshot, and then kick him. Let's do this a couple times. What's he doing? Alright, he's running away, so I'm gonna punch him and then just line up the headshot. You have time. And then kick. And then go upstairs. If he runs towards you, though, get the headshot first. Yep, he ran away. I'm gonna punch him, get the headshot, and get the kick. I know this may seem like a lot of attention to detail, but this is what's going through my head. If you think this is like I'm spending way too long explaining this stuff, like we're 20 minutes into the run, but we've been here for like an hour. This is what goes through my head every single time I do this section. Every single time. So what's he gonna do? Still turning around. I want to show it off once. See, all those times he's turning around. If he runs towards you, get the headshot first, then punch him out. Then we'll go upstairs. Alright, he's running towards us. That means... get it first. Then when you come up here, crouch right away. And just get 2 headshots. These 2 guys up top are very random in their movements. The headshot registrations are horrible. You want them to not be moving at all. It makes the headshots just much easier to get. If you miss a headshot, Tess will sometimes shoot an enemy. And if that's the case, all you have to do is get a body shot. Alright, he's running towards us, therefore. See, it took too long. Took too long. With enough practice, you'll get it. Alright, he turned around, so we got him. And I cannot stress enough, take your time on that shot. Crouch. And then go. Now on the top floor, what else can happen? Let's do this. He turned around, so we're just gonna... Also, I know I'm spending too much time on this, but the reason you see me drag shot, like I aim over here and then go over, is because if you aim at an enemy for too long, he'll just hop out of the way. See that? If you aim at him for too long... Alright, Tess isn't helping. If you aim at his body or his head for too long, he'll literally just hop out of the way. So what I do to avoid that is I aim far to the right of him and then drag the reticle over. To avoid that inconsistent little hop, I aim over here and then drag it over. It doesn't give him a chance to move. And then 2 headshots up top. So all together, from the top, people. He's running towards me. Gotta get it quickly. I'm gonna hold down triangle and pick up both those things of ammo. So just play around with it, and you'll get there. Now, after you're done killing him,
More people.
They just
like,
slow us down.
Yeah.
hop over, down, and up to there. But what you can do if you're just starting out, get this med kit, go down here, and get any ammo that they drop. Which is sometimes. Sometimes they drop ammo. If you're just starting out on grounded mode, I'd recommend, after you get the headshot, pew. You know what? I'm good with one. Get the headshot, hop down. Instead of that, go over here. Forget the bottle. Get the med kit, and then get any ammo they drop right here. That's like a beginner's strat. As for how much ammo you need leaving here, have at least one. Having 0 isn't that great. If you have 1, that's perfectly fine. So, boom, get the headshot. Come hop down, and then, again, I have a gun in my hand, so if I hit triangle, he's going to spend a second putting it away. So what I do is once I get to around here, I throw a punch and then hit triangle. Boom. And because I'm not quite sure how this section behaves with a restart encounter, I'm going to make a save file here. This tutorial is going to be split up into 9 parts, so you don't have to worry. This first video may be a little over an hour, but that's okay.
There's our boy.
So again, I'm going to do this once and then go back and show you. This strat was found many years ago, 3.5 years ago, and it's very consistent.
Go wrap this up.
Even though you sometimes take damage, it's pretty consistent. So as soon as you're able to move, don't pick up the shiv here. Just don't do it. Pick up this brick here, but do it letting go of sprint. Then when he stands up, start sprinting. You'll get noticed and shot at, but you'll be fine. And then run to the right of this guy. Ow, that's okay.
Get the fuck back!
And that's that. Sometimes you get shot there. There's nothing you can do. Right away, I'll stress, if you go for the door with that guy behind the crates, if you just run straight for the door, he'll put you in a chokehold, and it's very frustrating, so you need to run really far to the right of him. You can still hit the triangle prompt at the door from pretty far away. Yeah, there's not much to mention besides that. Sometimes you don't get spotted. If that happens, just run around the guy that takes cover behind the door. I hope this loading screen doesn't last too long. But yeah. The main thing you want to know there is when you pick up the brick, let go of sprint. If you're holding down sprint the entire time, you're going to die. And the reason you don't want to pick up the shiv is because the game will place a shiv in your way later. Basically, in this game, if you don't pick up something... We'll get into this much later, but if you don't pick up something, like the first of something, like a shiv or a bomb or a medkit or something, the game will place it further ahead of you, begging you to pick it up. Like, will you please pick this up? And once you pick one up, it despawns the later ones. So if we don't pick it up here, we're going to pick it up later. And when we pick it up later, it's going to be during downtime. If you pick it up here, his sprint will be slowed down a little bit. So again, from the top. Watch what happens if you hold down sprint the whole time. See that? You need to let go of sprint.
Let's be smart about it.
Let's see if this works again.
Contacts and sell us stuff.
Who's that?
It still works, I think. I don't know where this guy is. He's not supposed to be here. If that happens, restart encounter. Once you get through the door, there's the checkpoint. The checkpoint for this section is once you're done entering the doorway. So if you get shot or put in a chokehold, restart encounter and you'll get your health back. Because he's not supposed to be in that room. I don't think there's much more to that. Just try and copy what I did there. If you get alerted, that's fine. That's actually part of the strat. If you don't get alerted, that's okay too. That's actually a little bit better. But yeah, the checkpoint for that section is after you kick the door open, it's like as soon as you're able to move him. So if you get shot or grabbed after that, restart encounter, you'll get your health back. Which is important for the next area. You don't want to have damage taken for the next part. So again, just sprint, and the biggest key with this spot is picking up the brick without sprinting. Sprinting.
I don't know who's left out there to sell us.
See that? Alright, we didn't get alerted, so what you need to do is sprint around him. If you try and just run past him, he'll put you in a chokehold. Very frustrating. And home free.
Back, get the fuck back!
You just want to talk, Robert.
We got fucking nothing to talk about!
Pretty simple.
Put your gun
Again, the
down.
biggest key there is not holding down sprint when you pick up that brick.
He's running.
And then sprinting again once he stands back up.
Robert! You, Joel!
That really is the big thing with this section.
We almost got him.
And I want to stress, it's okay to have... And then skip cutscene right there. From this point, with the pistol, you want to have either 1 or 2 bullets. You can have 0, and you'd worry about that later. But 1 or 2 is ideal. Alright, now right away, head right for that melee weapon and pick it up.
You want this deal?
You need to be very close to that melee weapon here. I know this is pointless to show over again, but you've noticed we've been able to pick things up from really far away. Like the key in the slums, or certain bits of ammo or bricks. You can pick them up from really far away. This melee weapon, however...
You want this deal?
Nope.
We gotta move.
You need to be, like, standing on top of it. See? Like, that's good. This isn't. Nice. So literally, just, like, walk over it to pick it up.
We gotta get out of here. Now. You want this deal? We gotta move.
And you can't see how many hits it has because the heads-up display is disabled. But a piece of wood has 4 hits, a bat has 6 hits, and a pipe has 9 hits. You just need to memorize that. How many you have left, how many it starts with. Now right here you want to stand behind Marlene, otherwise Tess wants to climb up ahead of you and go up the ladder before you. So you need to stand right there. So Tess won't go up. Alright, now the only speedrun related thing right here is to get around Marlene. Right there. And get inside this building as fast as you can. So, drop in. You want his feet to hit the floor here as fast as you can. And there's your shiv. This shiv would not have been here if we had picked up the one in the wharf. And when it's the first time you picked something up, like a shiv or a bomb or a medkit or something, it gives you a little tutorial on how to use it. That's how you know that's how you know this is the first time you picked one up. And you can't get rid of this tutorial. You can't get rid of it from the main menu. It's a new game thing. You cannot get this to not pop up.
I think I'm turning to you guys.
Now what that does is it introduces you to crafting. And this is like the 101 of crafting and picking stuff up. Alright, right here you're going to want to hit triangle standing right around here. But if we go in our inventory, you'll see
Joel, give me a hand.
now we can craft stuff. Now we didn't pick up a blade or we didn't pick up a full thing of blades or binding anywhere. When it's the first thing that you pick up, like whether it's a shiv or a bomb, when it's the first one that you picked up, the game gives you the supplies to craft another one. If you pick up your first Molotov, you'll get a full thing of rags and alcohol as well. Same thing with the med kit. But yeah, when it's the first one you pick up and you get that little tutorial on how to use it, the game will give you It will fill in your inventory of whatever it takes to craft it. That doesn't apply to like other shivs you pick up, just the first one. I'm stressing about this, I'm making a big point about this because it's going to help us much later. We're going to get an extra Molotov for the run by manipulating this a little bit. We don't have to worry about that now. Whew. Having fun, people? Moving at a snail's pace.
Hey, how you holding up? I'll live.
But we'll get there. Even right there at the door, just focus on what my controller is doing. I hold down sprint, I move both the camera and the controller to the left, and then both to the right. That's how you get past her.
We can sneak by them, even though I know that's not your style. We'll see how it goes. Let's get moving.
Alright, again, I'm just going to do this section once, and then I'll show it again. I'll show you the consequences of what happens if you don't do it right. Stop sprinting. Start sprinting. Hop to the right. Swing. Don't pick up that bottle. And then crouch. Throw. And you're good. Now, let's show you what happens if you do those things wrong.
We need to get to that door.
Part 1 is you need to stop sprinting halfway up the stairs. If you don't and you sprint the whole way... Ow, ow, ow. I'm dead. That hurts. Ow. So part 1. You need to stop sprinting halfway up the stairs and then start up again at the top. Stop. Start. Now, whatever you do, don't pick up this bottle. Because you don't have enough time to get behind cover. You don't have enough time.
We need to get to that door.
That's why we picked up that brick in the wharf. Okay, stop sprinting, start sprinting. And make sure you hop over far enough to the right, because that guy almost hurt us. So then right here, take cover behind this thing, because if you don't and you just try and run, ow, you're dead. This is grounded.
We need to get to that door.
So the important part there is to take cover behind that crate. Stop sprinting, start sprinting. Hop over to the right so the guy to the left doesn't hear you. Take a swing at him. Just run. Now take cover behind this crate. Now this guy does different things. Ow. When I round the corner, sometimes he's right here. Sometimes he's up here, ready to shoot me. Other times he's right here. There's like 3 different spots he could be. He could be here. He could be here. And right there, he could just run up and try and shoot me. So there's 3 different things you have to look for there. And then react to it. That last part is RNG. This part right here is pretty consistent. Oh, also, don't bonk into that. Oh, here he is. That actually worked. But yeah, that's one thing I forgot to mention. When you hop over that crate, don't run into it, because then it's an alert. Stop sprinting here. Start here. Hop over the crate. You think you're going this way? Don't bonk into it. Because then you're going to get alerted, and you're going to have a bad time. So from the top, that's pretty much it. Stop sprinting. Start sprinting. Jump to the right. Avoid this crate. Swing. Keep going. Try not to bonk on anything. Take cover behind this crate. Just brick him when you see him. If he's not there, then it means he's on one of the steps here. And that's that. One more time, then we'll move on.
We need to get to that door.
Stop sprinting. Start sprinting. Leap to the right. Don't bonk on that. Swing at him. Keep going. Crouch. Ow. Alright. Whatever. If that happens, that's okay. You don't have to worry about health beyond this point. Because after the next cutscene, he gets it all back.
We need to get to that door.
But that's why it's important to have full health for this section. Stop sprinting. Start sprinting. Don't bonk. Swing. Run around. Gonna be close. Crouch. And barely good, but we made it. And again, that guy is just RNG. You need to time a brick throw properly so that you don't get shot by him, no matter what he does. Stop sprinting. Start sprinting. Go. Around him. Grab him. There you go. When you see him right away, hop up. And throw. And then go. And you're good.
Where are we going, Marlene?
Again, there's 3 different spots that guy can be in. If he runs up, brick him. Alright, right here. As you can see, you can't run or jog. So what you do is you crouch walk.
How you holding up? I'm running on fumes.
Now, the key to progression in this section is Marlene. She's the only one who can open the door at the top.
The place is right up ahead.
So we want to speed her up a little bit, but she's slow, much like the rest of your companions. So what you do is halfway up the stairs right here,
Hell are we smuggling?
right around here. Restart encounter, and Marlene is poof right here. Saves like 12 seconds. Now what you don't want to do right here.
Give me a hand with this.
Look, see this? Why isn't the triangle prompt showing up? Well, if you stand too close to the door when the triangle prompt pops up, it just won't pop up. So what you need to do is stand back and then walk into it. And then skip the cutscene. So you need to kind of like walk into the triangle prompt when Marlene says, Joel, give me a hand with this. And then boom. And that's pretty much it.
Down here.
There's a couple more things, but that's pretty much going to do it for part 1. And again, with pistol ammo, you want to have 1 or 2. If you have 0, that's not great, but you can worry about that later. Eventually, like, every bullet has an enemy's name on it. This bullet in this gun is assigned to this enemy and stuff like that.
That'll get us
You
to
don't
the
got to worry
hotel.
about that just yet with pistol ammo.
Just give me a minute.
Alright, one thing to mention here is if you try and climb up the left side here, like I'm going to climb up and then just... Why can't I climb up? Why can't I climb up? I don't know why you can't. It's very annoying and very deceiving. Once the dumpster is on here, don't try to climb up the left side. It's very dumb. So what I do is I angle it to the right and just climb up the right side. It's a little deceiving. And then right there, in the doorway, you can only walk this section. See? You can't even sprint.
You ever smuggle a kid before?
So crouch walk.
No.
You can even see it's just faster. And that's it.
What's the deal with you and Marlene?
Intro through cargo
I
is
don't know.
complete.
She's my friend, I guess.
That'll do it for part 1. We have 8 more parts still to go.
You're friends with the leader of the Fireflies. What are you like?
The strats only get harder
You know
from
my
this point
mom.
forward. If you thought I spent a lot of time on the
And I'm
first part,
14, not that that has anything to do with
just you wait.
Where are your parents?
This is what it takes, people. The 250 was possible because of everything combined.
time.
All right.
So instead of just
Now for
staying
part
in
2.
school, you decide to run up and join the fuck.